Hi guys, welcome back to the TZS Wiener Measuring Contest. I am your host, Mewtwo, and I am joined today by the two finalists, Kraken. Kraken, that's your cue.
Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to talk. I thought you were just introducing both of us. I'm the only non-PFP today.
and new member of the TZS Podcast for his one-time appearance, Brian.
Hello. I am only on here because I made it as a finalist. Thank you very much.
So, the competition was stiff, wink. But today, we're finally going to figure out who has the biggest weenie in TZS.
I'm glad I made it as finalist, at least, and I'm honored.
Are you part of this contest too, Moo, or are you just the host of this contest?
I'm just the host because I like looking at weenies.
I see.
Well, so we get the final judgment.
Let's hear it, Moo. Let's hear it. Come on.
Well, I need to see your guys' wieners.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do that later.
As a finalist, if you haven't seen it.
We already got it measured, and you had figured it out.
Wait. Hold on.
Wait, I thought you already had.
Wait,
how
we
are
just
finalists then?
we got
energy or...
Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this later off stream.
Oh.
Right now we have an actual topic at hand.
We do.
Yeah, we have a Splatoon 2 versus Splatoon 3, and I would guess we're going to also probably talk about Splatoon 1 a little bit. Because you guys both played Splatoon 1, yes? At least casually?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was a casual player in Splatoon 1.
So I was the only comp player in Splatoon 1 of the three of us.
Yeah.
But I would guess we're going to sprinkle S1 in there a little bit. Let's be realistic.
I grinded out ranked games in S1, though.
Yeah, I mean, S1's ranked was much tougher,
honestly,
than S2 and S3's.
What?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No. I have to argue about this one.
I think the individual players are better, but getting to the highest point, which
S plus 99.
Yeah, S plus 99 was more difficult than
No, it was so easy.
Okay, interesting.
Because literally all you had to do was quick respawn, stealth jump, Luna Blaster, and only play tower control, and you can reach S plus 9. Anybody can reach S plus 9.
That's so true. That's honestly so true.
See, I had to keep the weapon I always play. You think I swapped off for X rank or S plus?
I'll admit, if you play normally, it was pretty difficult to reach S plus 99. But if you held Luna Blaster, quick respawn, stealth jump, and only play tower control, I genuinely believe anybody could have reached S plus 99 in that game.
That's fair. That's a pretty toxic. That's like a free win button. So that's fair. Yeah. I understand that now. Now I see what you're coming from.
I just hacked my my Wii because there was that one website you could go to that you could link up with your computer and you could just hack change your gear, change your rank. That's what I did.
Wait, bro, the cheater, not the cheater, bro. Oh man.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I mean, at least he's honest. I'll give him that.
At least you didn't play comp as a cheater,
Yeah, exactly.
That was 95% of comp players were cheaters. At least gear hacking. It's insane the amount of people that gear hacked in Splatoon 1. Yeah, honestly,
it was a whole deal back then because Nintendo banned a lot of players in Japan, at least, that used hack gear from playing their official tournaments, and it was pretty controversial. But
I mean, I think that's part of why we have such an easier gear system in S2 and then especially in S3 because of how hard it was to do gear stuff. And where people, they just basically wanted to, the best way to eliminate people cheating is by making it just more accessible. Why put in 100 hours to get whatever you want?
There's no point spending so many hours just making gear anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of what they kind of realized too. Like, they wanted it to be a hard system, but then people just cheated instead of actually grinding it. I was one of the few that grinded it, but I also ran like 3 sets at the most. So like
I only had one set, and that was a quick respawn stealth jump.
Anywho, I think we've dug a little bit into S1. Let's actually let's bring it over to the main point here. I think Brian, I'll let you kind of introduce it more directly since this was actually your idea. Brian wanted to come on the podcast, folks. It's crazy.
I did. Well, I didn't really care about which topic, but then Kraken said he needed like a decent topic to talk about at least to even do a podcast. So I was like, you know what? S2 plus S3 was not talked about enough. Actually, it was in the beginning of beginning when S3 came out, but like I feel like in our team we never really talked about which game was better. Only one person, well, Pork was the only one who kind of, gave his feelings about that. So thought maybe it was a good idea. We only have 3 of us, but good idea to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, which I'll throw out since you mentioned Pork. Pork declined to come on this one because he didn't want. He said let me get the quote because I asked him today. Hey, you sure you don't wanna join us? And his exact words were, "Nope, ain't no one want to hear me glaze S3." So, that's pretty obvious the point he would have been on. He would have been big on the Splatoon 3 side of things, and he's a big supporter of Splatoon 3, the way it is, and he thinks S2 is the worst of the series. So, there's the TLDR of Pork's thoughts on that. So that would have been the entire time him glazing S3, and he knew people would hate that.
Yep. So I mean, I guess we can just start off by choosing a side.
I'm on the S2 side.
Moo?
I'm on the. I guess I S3.
I guess so. You're pretty neutral.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral to it.
Okay. Well, I am on the S3 side. So I guess we do have 3 kind of separate opinions. Surprisingly.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought everybody would choose S3, so I'm kind of surprised.
I think our team actually other than you and Pork, I think actually leaned to S2. I think David,
actually?
Vapor, yeah.
I did not know that.
Especially Vapor,
I don't even remember talking about this. Oh shoot! What the heck?
Yeah, we're big S2 enjoyers. Me and Vapor. I think David does as well, but I could be wrong on that. And Pepe, I'm unsure.
I enjoyed S2 as well, but I just think S3 is just a much better game. But I guess we can dive into that.
Yeah, I think the easiest place to dive into it is probably I think maps. I think maps is probably gonna be one of the best places to dive into. And I'll tell you what, the maps of S2 are just head and shoulders above S3. The new ones for S3 in particular. Because, I mean, look at half of the map list of Splatoon 3 is just Splatoon 2 maps again. Macomart, Inkblot, Humpback Rainmaker. There's half of the map list is Splatoon 2 again. And while you watch a lot of Splatoon 3 maps, like, just get clapped on, looking at, like Eeltail and such, even though I like Eeltail actually more than some other ones. I think the Splatoon 2 map list is just fantastic and probably the best in the series.
You know what? I'll give you that one. I did like the maps of Splatoon 2 better than Splatoon 3. And at least the past 3-4 maps that's been added to this game have been a complete dog shit. I hate it. Especially that, what was it? The terminal one where that moving platforms?
The Lumeria hub. Lumeria,
they need
whatever
to
it is.
delete that map because it is the worst map in the existence of this franchise.
I wouldn't go that far that it's the worst in the franchise. Salt Spray Rig is right there.
No, I think it's way worse.
Interesting. I do think it's bottom 3 worst map in the game or in the series purely for the fact that it is unfair to one team.
That moving platform.
And the moving platforms are awful. But
the moving platforms are so like
it's
yeah. I do not enjoy playing that map at all.
Yeah, I
like
oh, go ahead.
There's like no other maps, right, in the existence of this game that have moving platforms like that.
Yeah, I think the only thing that there was a shifty station, I believe, that had platforms that moved like that. The shifty stations had a bunch of different features. But there's not another like regular map that I can think of either that has platforms like that.
Yeah.
You know, you have fans or elevators like you do on Bluefin or Marlin.
Them, you know?
Yeah. Well, the Bluefin one you do control. I feel like there was Salt Spray had moving platforms that you couldn't control. Those elevators up and down. Those were always cycled back and forth.
They did.
Sturgeon Shipyard has the things that move. Wahoo has platforms that move. Like, there's plenty of things that move, but not like the way that Hub's platforms move.
Yeah. Like beneath the feet, you know.
Yeah, and they're usually mostly up and down, mostly. While this one, you know, is very horizontal or diagonal, the one that's close to your spawn. And so I very much agree how that is just not fun to enjoy. And we haven't even talked about the fact that the map is literally unfair to one team because it's a mirrored map horizontally instead of diagonally, which is, you know, only shared with Salt Spray Rig and Skipper Pavilion in the entire series for regular maps.
Skipper Pavilion. I remember.
But I will say, of the mirror maps, Skipper Pavilion's the best one, which is in Splatoon 2.
Definitely the best one.
Yeah.
Definitely the best one out of the mirror maps. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Going back and looking at the maps here, because of course I'm refreshing my own mind. I did a little bit of this before we went on to this podcast today. But I also am kind of looking over it now, like going through, like, okay, let's look through some of the maps. You know, what is right and what I feel wrong about with the maps, and like, you know, Skipper. We were just talking about Skipper. A map that I don't want to see in comp because it has the mirror to it. I don't think that it's not fair to one side. One side has an actual disadvantage. But it's just so much better than the other two mirror maps of Salt Spray and Hub. It just shows how good the S2 design really was, even in the mirror situation. It was played in comp. It was played competitively, especially zones and clamblets were played decent. Been a little bit of tower control at times. I remember
we were ass on that map though.
We were.
I remember we were so bad. Like, I don't remember a significant win on that map back in Splatoon 2 as TZS.
No. But also, I think it's a little unfair for us when it comes to stages. We're talking about it. We are Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. Mine is an S2 or an S1 map. But of course, we named ourselves while it was S2. So I will acknowledge our bias as a team towards Splatoon 2 maps. Even though, again, Camp Triggerfish was originally a Splatoon 1 map, we named ourselves up after the Splatoon 2 edition of it.
Yeah. I feel like, and like I could be wrong, I feel like there was just a lot more viable maps in S2 than S3.
Yeah.
So it kind of like hampers my enjoyment when I constantly see like the same few map modes in a tournament map list. And like, I get it. Everything else is just incredibly dog water as per like what the community says. So I feel like it just gets stale, and you know, the addition of the new maps, especially Lemuria, have been incredibly disappointing. That you feel like you get a new map mode that could be for that's tournament viable, and then you find out it's just that ass.
Yeah.
So S3 maps have definitely been more of a miss than a hit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll give it to you on that. The maps S2 was more enjoyable for sure.
Looking at Ludi for an example, though, I will say that there are more S3 maps than S2 maps on that, which makes sense, of course, because S3, half of the map lists are brand new to it, and there's like 6 or something that are shared that are S3, S2. Let me quickly count. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 maps that are both shared with S2 and S3, which is Wahoo World, Mako Mart, Ink Blot, Manta Maria, Sturgeon Shipyard, and Humpback Plum Track. And you can argue all 6 of those would be okay, at least in one mode on a map list. You know, I know you're not a big fan of Sturgeon Shipyard in particular, but we've seen that played in comp, and I would argue it's one of the better maps in the entire game, especially maybe the best map not played in competitive at all. You know, you rarely see that map. But we see Manta consistently in things. We see Humpback Pump Track is in Ludi on Rainmaker. And you occasionally see it in zones in some tournaments. You don't usually see it in TC and Rainmaker. TC and Clamblitz. Obviously, we know Ink Blot is to the point that people hate how often it's played. Mako Mart, somewhat to the same thing, a little bit of burnout, how much it's been played consistently through S2 and S1, or S3. What else? Who's the other? There's one more I didn't mention.
Humpback.
Talk about Humpback. Is there maybe only 5? Is there 5? I thought I counted 6, but maybe there's only 5. Oh, Wahoo. And Wahoo, this team will have a conversation on Wahoo. We'll leave it at that as a whole, but it's one that I would personally argue also should be considered in some map list on certain modes. But that one's probably the least liked. But still, 5 out of 6 of the maps that are shared among are pretty consistently dribbled into some map lists. And that alone says a lot about it. Especially 3 of them are consistent in that. So batting more than 50%, which just, you can't say that about S3 maps.
Yeah, just maps though. Just maps. It's just maps.
Well, I think at this point we've kind of gone a lot about maps. So I'm gonna let you kind of punt into what do we want to talk about here that you think S3 favors over S2?
Weapons.
Interesting. Okay.
Just weapons. I think S3 has, or at least right now, has a really good balance of, or power balance of a lot of weapons in the game that S2 didn't have.
I agree.
Because
I will give you right. Oh, go ahead.
Because at least when I play I always play a bunch of different weapons, right? Like, literally, you can give me a weapon, I've probably used it a good amount of times. And from my experience playing a bunch of different weapons on all 3 games, actually, I didn't really have a main weapon. Of course, I perform best on short-range shooters because that's what I've used most in the comp scene. But when I just play this game, I just want to use whatever the fuck I want, and I pick up a bunch of different weapons. And I find that in S3, there are so many more weapons that I feel like is not like absolute dog shit, you know, to the point where I can't use it. But
viability.
In S2, I mean, viability. In S2, I mean, of course, there were a lot of weapons also that you can use, but it's just that when you play in the competitive scene and you go against like double missile comps, it's like so many weapons are just useless. But in S3, I feel like, you know, there's a lot more variety of weapons that I can use based on maps, based on comps, and it actually works out completely fine. Which is I guess what I enjoy the most about S3 is that the weapon variety that I can pick up, even in tournaments.
Mood, you have
actually,
something?
Not really on this team though, because so many of us are one tricks, and if I keep switching, then it doesn't work out. But if you have at least another flex player, then I can switch up, you know. So
yeah, that's an understandable point with this team. This team artificially jails you to an extent at times.
It does.
So that's a little bit fair to say. Moo, do you have any comment on the weapons? Your kind of thought here, because I have a lot to probably say on this one.
Yeah, I agree, because definitely towards the end of Splatoon 2, it felt like only a few weapons were actually like usable in the meta, which is kind of sad because I miss like mid Splatoon 2, still getting balance patches, the Kenzo weapons, and like she was pretty cool. And then it just transformed into double missile like armor K52, and it didn't feel very fun to play nor to fight. So yeah, I definitely agree with Brian, especially with like the stuff like Splatana's being introduced. It was really fun. You get like really funny tournament clips, and Decav is very, very decent right now. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot more weapon diversity in S3 than S2.
Yeah, I in terms of competitive diversity, I will give you that. In terms of current S3 versus current S2, or well, final patch S2, I will definitely give, in terms of the pool of viability. I think a lot more was more viable in S2 than people give it to. I think there was just a lot of hate on the very, missile, this. There's people that shown that you can do not doing that sort of style. So but at the end of the day, I think that in terms of overall balance, that current S3 is better than current S2. Peak S2, though, beats S3 by far. Peak S2, the patch right before MPU was done, S2 pre-MPU, the right before, was peak Splatoon competitive, I think, in terms of viability. So many things were viable.
Was the Brella meta before MPU? Brella I did not have fun during the Brella meta at all.
That was right when Brella released. That it was because it was just, there was a lot of funkiness with it. I think is what you're thinking of. There was a period that was just broken because it just
double Brella. There was a period where it was double Brella, and you cannot, or at least as a shooter main on the competitive side, it was horrible. And then the double dually sculptures meta, that was also horrible. And then the missiles meta, that was also horrible.
But at least with Splatoon 2, there was actually different metas. Can you name different era metas of S3? There's just something you can't do. There's been pretty much, if a weapon's been strong in S3, it is still strong now. And if it's been a weapon that's been bad since beginning S3, it's most likely been bad this entire time. Like, there hasn't really been a lot of shakeups. Like, even the weapons that maybe are the best now, like something like Pencil, obviously that was added mid-game, so it's a little bit harder to say. But like, it wasn't horrendous when it dropped. People hated on it, but like, there was a few people showing that it had potential, and then it got a slight buff and everybody moved on. And the buff wasn't even that crazy, if my memory's correct. That like, everybody went crazy over that. It happened a couple times. But it's just like, just like a small tweak, and then everybody jumped on it. But like, in this game, there's only been very small tweaks, and most things haven't really moved in terms of like tiers, other than maybe upper WoW one.
But what I really like about S3 is that people get more creative. You got double rapid pro winning area cup, you got a roller winning area cup, you got a carbon roller, you got a comp that can't ink at all. Like a range blaster, squeezer, and a rapid or something playing together, and it still worked out in zones, right? And it's like, people are getting creative to counter strong weapons, and it actually works. But then in S2, you have like the double ballpoint meta. What the fuck was that? Like, what am I supposed to do against double ballpoint? Like, I couldn't do anything. You had a double dually sculptures meta, I couldn't do anything. You had a double Brella meta, I couldn't do anything. You had a double missile, I couldn't do anything. It's like, so many of those S2 metas, I felt powerless, It's like, the only way to counter them was just to mirror. But in S3, people get creative. If they go Pencil, you can go Rapid Pro. It kind of counters it, right? It's like, it's so much more fun in terms of the different comps that you see and the different play styles that people have, even in the higher up competitive scene, is what I like a lot more about S3 than S2 when talking weapons.
And I think to a good extent, I do get where you're coming from, and I do, like I said, the pool is a little bit larger and it's a little bit less varied, right? The worst weapons in the game are the floor, those being the floor, are a little bit closer to the ceiling. The ceiling's a little bit lower, so I do understand that. But yeah, if I could go back to a single era, it would be S2 pre-MPU, and I think that was peak comp. A lot of variability, a lot of balance, more balance than even S3 is now in terms of viability. You didn't have the MPU shenanigans. They had tweaked everything to be relatively balanced. There was a couple weapons that were still better. There just always is. You can never have everything be identical. But I can definitely understand the end game, especially being that was our only option for years and years. And I think some people, once we get into S4, will somewhat look back at S3 in that way, because there will be a few years where we're likely to have relatively the same meta. I mean, like I said, pretty much the entire S3, it's been pretty similar what the peak weapons are. And so I think that'll make S2 look better once we get the next game.
I'd give it to you if that peak S2 period wasn't so damn short, you know?
It was a little shorter than I would have liked, I would agree.
It was, I mean, I don't even remember it. That's the thing. Like, it was so short that the other metas that destroyed me is what's left on my mind, and not the balanced S2 competitive scene.
Well, and some of that is because MPU, once that happened, it just lodged in your brain because how awful that was. To be fair, it's like you didn't realize how peak it was until MPU hopped in, and then you just remember MPU was so bad. Like, it was the worst decision that the devs probably did in the entire S2 cycle, and it just kills me because it was right there. It was peak. Why? You know, maybe a couple buffs to things like some of the weapons that ended up really doing well with MPU. You know, your Bamboozler is a good example of it. Maybe Pro, etc. Could have maybe used a little bit of a buffs in general. So I do think that that the thoughts were correct with S2. That hey, these weapons that are getting the damage up mostly needed a buff anyways. But it's like, that was not the right way to go buff. Damage is not the way you want to go about buffs. And that is one thing I really like about S3, is that there's no damage up equivalent to it. Because that broke S1, it broke S2, and I'm really glad they have not added an S3 as of this taping.
You say this now, but...
Yeah, that's why I'm adding that, because magically tomorrow the devs are gonna be like, so we're gonna add damage up and break the game again because we got bored. Like,
could definitely happen.
That's like that is like a very Nintendo thing. They just do whatever they want. Sometimes it's just like, let's break our games. It's funny. Like, let's see.
Horizontal swipe from a stamper does like 90 damage.
That would just be awful. That would just, oh gosh. But while we're on weapons, I think some of the S2 introduced weapons are banger. You have dualies that are introduced, Brellas are introduced. I know you're not a big fan of dually or Brellas, but you can't deny they're pretty unique and pretty cool.
They are cool. They are
YouTuber,
unique.
Your favorite weapon was added in Splatoon 2.
That weapon.
Explo, Blob, which of course Vapor's in the chat. Vapor, of course, a big fan of the Explosher.
Why is he in the chat and not in the podcast?
Because I think he's doing homework. So I'm proud of him putting schoolwork over TZS Podcast.
Well, I'm not proud of him that he's in chat and not doing homework. Oh, got him. He shouldn't be in chat. He should be focusing on finishing so he can join immediately after he's done, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, the topic.
I'm staying up for this guy.
Ballpoint, Nautilus were added, just as some more additional options. Which, I mean, I think some of S3 were pretty cool, but like those S2, those are some really banger lineup that we have added to that game. That even if necessarily you don't always enjoy them, again, looking at like something like Brella, they bring a very unique take to the game. While a lot of the ones in S3 felt like they weren't super necessary and kind of just felt weird. Like recycled Brella, why? We have Undercover.
Yeah, I agree.
Dowsers, a little bit different. I think that one's a better thing, but like, why not, dually, it's just like a more extreme dually squelcher in a lot of ways. Not a huge fan of that. I will give S-Blast a pretty cool one. And I will, Stampers.
Platanas were all pretty cool.
The Stampers were pretty cool. I think that's probably my favorite addition. And I don't think bows were
and
horrendous.
The bows are cool too.
But I think overall the S2 additions, both in terms of the additional classes, the Brellas, the Dualies, along with the additional weapons added to the different classes that already exist, outclasses S3. Even though S3's 2 additional classes were really cool, the additional weapons in other classes are just mostly lacking comparatively. But I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching the gameplay or like reveal trailer for S2, and I saw the dualies rolling for the first time. I fucking like screamed because they were fucking rolling. And
then you didn't use them.
Yep.
I was gonna be a dually main too. I'm gonna be real. When I saw it, I was really interested in that.
I think everybody was. I was too. I was like, yo, I'm gonna use that weapon and only that weapon.
The Brellas and the Dualies, I was like, yes, I am in. And then Brella didn't even release on release of the game. You only played in single player. I literally completed the single player first with the Brella so I could unlock it and be like special. And then they're like, no, not until we release it for everybody.
Yeah, and I like, I agree with what you said, Kraken. I liked, Brella and, eventually Undercover. I thought that was a cool concept. Kind of like in the spy movies. That shit was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like the Kensa weapons coming out. That's where I found my calling with Kensa Sloshing Machine. Kensa Sloshing Machine.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to talk about too much with kits in terms of that. Just purely like the main weapons. But that's a very good point. I think the kits were better than us too. But we'll get to that, I think. Because I think we're going to talk. I'll drag us into kits.
I have a lot to say about kits as well.
But like the main weapon, Flingza, your baby, Brian, was made in S2. I know you're a Big Swig enjoyer too in S3, but
Big Swig is fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Both felt very underwhelming to me. But Splatana was sick as fuck. I remember seeing that for the first time.
That was cool.
I thought that shit was so cool to me, and I still enjoy it. I think it's probably, in terms of like new weapon classes they released, I'd probably put Sword at the front, and then Dualies, Brellas, Bow.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I liked how they introduced new concepts for, weapon classes, like you said, Kraken S-Blast. I thought that was pretty cool. And Sniper Rider it felt interesting when I first saw it, and then it's taken over the game.
That has definitely changed. That has muddied the opinion on Sniper Rider a little bit for everybody, I think. But any weapon being good, it hurts the opinion of the weapon. We were talking about the different metas a little bit. Brian was mentioning missiles and things like that. People hate those things mostly because they were just good at a period of time, whether that be current in the case of missiles and Sniper Rider or dually squelchers.
Well, I don't care if it's good, right? Like Pencil's good, but there's ways to play around it, I feel like. But in Splatoon 2, double ballpoint, there was no way around it. There was no way around it. Double dually sculptures, there was no way around it. Zero. You couldn't do anything about it. Right? It was too good. That's the only thing I didn't like about the S2 meta.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Being good, I'm fine. Like Pencil, it's a good weapon. But right, like we know that there's ways to play around it. As you can see, even in high level tournaments, it's used quite a bit, but there's a lot of times where they lose. There's a lot of pencil-less comps that make it to top 4 and even area cup. But double ballpoint. That actually, now the more I talk about double ballpoint, the more hatred. I'm gonna stop talking about it.
was something.
I remember that. That was I didn't hate that meta, but I also am a brush, so I have a lot of movement options, I guess. So
you didn't hate the double ballpoint?
I didn't hate the double ballpoint meta.
What?
It was a little annoying, but I didn't absolutely hate it.
It was so busted.
Honestly, for me, I
good.
hated fighting. I don't think this was like taking over the meta, but like I just hated fighting Bubble Blower because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do around it, bro.
There's not much to do about it. If it was a weapon like a squeezer that had a bomb, you threw a bomb.
Yeah, they ripped that combo, and I'm like, shit. I guess I'm fucking dead. I guess we lost the lead because they just like learned how to press ZR and R.
Yeah, the Bubble Blower was definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's fair.
There wasn't much you could do about it. Too powerful was an issue in that game.
Which is hilarious because, you know what? A lot of people talk about how weak S2 is comparatively, at least special-wise, compared to S1 and S3. So, yeah, but I think Bubble Blower, it just had that one combo that was just so dumb that it makes you remember it, less so that it was like genuinely like broken. If it didn't have that bomb, Bubble Blower was not a threat. It was that it had a bomb combo that was just had an insane radius of explosion.
And it just happened to be on Squeezer.
It happened to be on Squeezer, which was a good weapon, and itself the main weapon being obnoxious. So it was just never fun to fight Squeezers.
It wasn't fun to fight K-Gals, it wasn't fun to fight K-Shots, it wasn't fun to fight Squeezers.
And all those things were I don't remember. I don't think MPU for Squeezer, but for two of those is because of MPU that they weren't fun. It was when MPU was introduced that those things became not fun. So that's more of an MPU shitting on MPU than necessarily the main weapons.
Because of MPU.
Yeah.
I also didn't like Ink Armor meta. I didn't like Ink Armor meta because I wanted to use Blaster. And I was like, wow, double armor just invalidates the entire Blaster class as a whole. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
And Chargers, actually.
Oh yeah, and Chargers. And the Stingray meta before, when they just sat in their spawn and you couldn't do anything about it.
It was so broke and it was
that
so
shit
funny.
pissed me off. Oh, I can't believe that was an actual win con.
What are we gonna do?
Like the fact
that, and then they made it where you couldn't be in that spawn, but like they would still jump back and just be right outside the spawn shield. Like, ooh, what are you gonna do? You up Moray Towers? Are you gonna come up to the top of the tower? No, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, which. It's funny in hindsight, but just watching the laser across the map.
Oh my god. I just hated how that was just a fucking win con. It was just so easy to get the games.
We have that in all three games. There were things that are just insta wins. Booyah Bomb in both S2 and S3, if it hits tower, is pretty much a GG. Strikes, S3 is a GG's for tower.
At least it's not like a Stingray that you can just shoot across the map from a protected zone.
You can throw both of those from pretty far, though. It's pretty hard to counter those if done, depending on the map mode, where you can because you can throw strikes in just ridiculously safe places and hit tower in certain points, depending on the map.
I still think they're not as bad as Stingray.
But I will agree with that, because Stingray you can literally do from your spawn, while strikes and such, again, you can do them from pretty safe spots, but they're less safe than literally your spawn shield at one point or just outside your spawn shield. I wish it wasn't an infinite range option for Stingray. I wish it funneled after half the map or something like that, or quarter of the map, but
I remember Stingray was so bad in the beginning too, because it was just like a line. It didn't have a radius of damage. And and then they added that, and it became the best special for a bit.
They doubled its radius.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it was insane. Before when it's the baby radius.
It was just like a line. You could barely hit people with it. And then now it just became like It was. I mean, S2 was fun. It was fun, but I think S3 is just a better, well put together game compared to S2.
talking about kind of specials and kits, I want to talk about those a little bit. The amount of kits we have in S2 and S3 ended up coming out at about a similar rate, to give reference to everybody. So, people talk about S3 not having enough kits. Part of that is just because the amount of weapons that exist in this game. So I do want to defend S3 a little bit on that, because a lot of people hate on that. But nonetheless, S3's options, while there is literally a larger number of options, because the number of kits in this game being only 2 per weapon, it feels like you have like no options in this game.
Yeah.
Well, S2, you had 3 options, not on everything.
But on a lot.
But on like half the weaponry you had that. Some weapons you had like 77 options looking at like regular shot. Some of that is because of the skins. Of course, the Mario of the game gets all of the options, which is somewhat understandable. It happens to have a lot of options here in Splatoon 3 as well. But having 3 kits, even on like half of the roster, made that game feel a lot better. And the fact that it had less subs and specials, it felt like even with literally less count of kits, there are more kits in S3 than S2. You felt you had more actual options.
That's one thing I liked more about S2 was not just, the feeling of having more options, but the kit itself. I definitely enjoyed the weapons of S2 more than S3.
Yeah.
But that's because a lot of my main weapons were just more enjoyable than it is in S3. Like the 52 Deco. Flash, I really liked the suction bomb rush. It was my favorite.
Bomb launcher? We're not allowed to have bomb rushes in S2. What do you mean?
Bomb
they got
launcher.
banned.
Yeah, it's and the range blaster, what is it? The Baja Blast, the Baja. Blast.
The Grim Range. Oh yeah.
There was a lot more like really enjoyable kits. They weren't necessarily like really good or meta, but it was a lot of fun to play them. Compared to the kits in S3, is one thing I'll give S2 as well, but I still think S3 is the better overall game.
And some of that is the way they release the kits, to be fair. There's 19 specials, I believe, in S3, if my memory's correct on the number. You don't have to be off by a number. So to divvy that up properly, it's like 5 weapon. It's like it just, and it's also unbalanced because of the way they were released. Like Splashdown came so late, and with everything only having 2 kits, and it seems that they are going to keep it that way. Like there was like 5 weapons left, and they're like, Splashdown on 3 of them, and like so it's like Hydra, which wouldn't have probably gotten Splashdown. It gets stuck with Splashdown, and there's just a lot of weapons that maybe wouldn't have had what it had, even if they had the 19 specials at the beginning of the game. But blocking everything to 2 kits, and then half the weapons having the second kit before 3 specials got dropped, because it wasn't the only special that got added late. There was a couple other ones that were added.
Green was added late. Chumps were added late too.
Yep, chumps were added late. Yeah, and so some of that it just feels so bad to play a lot of weapons.
Yeah,
just because the kits couldn't have been maybe made a little bit better, or they can't even come back to them in some fashion and be like, this aggro weapon, something like Sploosh now can't have, might benefit more from Splashdown than Hydra. We can't go give Sploosh this option with something else, and maybe could have been really enjoyable. Give me Splashdown, Splat Bomb. Brush, please. But I hope in Splatoon 4 they do address that and just give us custom kits, or at least a pool of options that we can go through per weapon or something like that. And just give us like colors for our extra kits, or extra, just give us skins instead. I think most people probably enjoy that. More of a like Black Ops 2 style, a pick 10 system or something would be just amazing. But that's a whole nother topic.
That would be a lot of fun.
I would love a pick 10 system, but I could dive into that for hours single-handedly, just that system and how amazing that system is and how much it would benefit Splatoon, but I won't do that today.
Damn, I'm surprised that only me and Pork feel that S3 was better, though.
Like I said, I don't know. Pepe and David, I'm a little bit... Well, and Mewtwo, you forgot about Mewtwo. Mewtwo said that.
I mean, he's more neutral.
Yeah, I'm very neutral
Like,
about both games.
He sounded like he was whatever about either one.
I like certain aspects of both S2 and S3, but I can't really say that one's definitively
Better than the...
That's right. You did say you're a little more neutral. That's right. And to be fair, I think that's fair to probably say about me and Brian. We both like certain things of S2 and S3, but we like, either particular game more if we could only pick one.
I enjoy Splatoon 3 more, for sure. Or, yeah, I guess it's probably because I just play the game for competitive reasons now.
And that might be part of it.
Like, in Splatoon 2, at least, I played casually as well a lot more often than Splatoon 3. Like, I don't play this game by myself anymore. Like, rarely. Maybe like once every 6 months, I'll play this game by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in Splatoon 2, I played that game by myself like every other day, every week. It's like, it was more based on me enjoying the game than playing competitively. And then I play Splatoon 3 now. It only revolves around me playing competitively with my team, basically.
Love you, Brian.
So it's like I only see the comp side. And then when I compare the competitive side, I just feel like I'm having more fun in Splatoon 3 than I did in Splatoon 2, which is probably why that I'm enjoying this game more. If I played this game more casually, maybe my opinion would be different, but I kind of only see it from the competitive perspective right now, I guess.
Let me ask
I haven't
you
even
this.
played the single player mode in Splatoon 3, but then in Splatoon 2, I actually cleared it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a story mode in S3.
There's a story mode in all 3 games, yes.
I just I played the story mode first, so I completely I was like, oh yeah.
I would say the story mode is probably the least important in Splatoon 3 than it was in either of the other ones. You got multiple weapons in both. S1, you actually got weapons that were unique to playing the story mode, like Aerospray. That was the only way to get it. Well,
was it
I think at least initially, I think they changed it later, but initially at least that was the only way to get it. So you were cool if you were playing Aerospray, because that means you played story mode when the game released. And I'll tell you, had also had the level requirement, but S2, you had all those different hero versions of the weapons. You had 7 hero versions. You had the Brella, you had the Shot, you had the Dualies, Octobrush, etc. In this game, obviously with the DLC, it's now higher, but on release, you only had the Shot. You only had the Nerf gun. And so why would you play the single player in this game? There's one reward at the end, and then you can do the daily rotation. I
don't think I even beat one level in single player in Splatoon 3. Genuinely, I don't remember. I don't remember playing it at all. Yeah.
Did you even clear the tutorial section? There's a tutorial section, and then there's a regular section. My memory's correct on this one.
For the single player mode?
Or am I mixing this?
I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even
either.
remember touching the single player mode in S3. So
that's awesome. Weird. That's just funny. You just never have.
Yeah.
Did you ever get the DLC and play Side Order?
No, I didn't. I don't even have the DLC in Splatoon 3. Yeah.
Did you play the DLC in S2?
Expansion?
Yeah, Octo expansion.
I played half of it on my friend's Switch.
Okay.
I don't have it myself though. I didn't want to buy it.
That's fair.
But it was fun though. Octo expansion was genuinely fun. I don't know about Side Order because I've never even played it, but
I will say both are enjoyable, and I will highly recommend both of them. one is a little bit more similar to the regular story. So Octo expansion is very similar to the storylines, the normal story modes. A lot more story based. While Side Order is kind of just like is a rogue light, and there's not as much story to it, but you're just kind of doing the levels. I would say Side Order actually has more replayability than Octo expansion. But in terms of like, I like Octo expansion more, but Side Order has more replayability, and so I'd probably say I've enjoyed more with Side Order than Octo expansion. But if I can only pick one, I'd probably pick Octo expansion just because what it did well. If I was going to play it through once,
yeah, I didn't play Side Order, so I don't have I can't.
I can't really give you any opinions on it either.
Purely a Kraken Mare POV on this one.
yeah.
But I did like Octo expansion. That was I remember when that got announced and everyone was getting hyped. Because it was just so different than what we were used to, and it was just really presented well. So,
yeah, I will give Splatoon devs, they have knocked it out of the park with DLCs. Keep making DLCs if they're like the ones we have in terms of quality. Just keep doing it. They're worth the money. And they're relatively cheap for DLCs. There's some DLCs that would have offered this much content and be double the price. So the prices are also kind of reasonable for what you give. But that but at least Side Order is much more worth your time for single player than playing the main campaign in S3, which with the S2 campaign, I will say that Octo expansion is better than the main story still, similar to Side Order is better than the main Splatoon 3 story. But like it's closer because the Splatoon 2 story is pretty decent as well. And again, the rewards exist there to make it worth it to also replay it more than with Splatoon 3, which you just have the one main reward being the nerf shot. Along with like, again, at least you can, if you do replay it, you have the shell drone, like cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, did you want to say anything more?
No, I feel like it's probably about time to switch off to another kind of conversation point. I think we've kind of exhausted this one, but I don't know what I want
to talk about.
I'll give one that I am hard in favor of S3 for.
Okay.
Movement options.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not in terms of map options, because I will say that in terms of 3D, having more movement options, S2 is better about that because of the 3-lane system. Going back to the traditional 3-lane system exists in Splatoon 2 maps and Splatoon 1 maps, of course. While they don't exist so much in S3 maps, they're not as guaranteed to have that 3-lane system, and so that's part of where the map issue is. But not going back into that. But in terms of player movement options, S3, if I could port just those straight into S2, I would explode in happiness.
I mean, what's like the major thing was, of course, squid rolling, but
and squid surging are the two biggest points.
Squid surging, you're right. Squid rolling, squid surging, definitely.
Squid surging would have been so good in S2. There's so many more vertical locations, especially S1. S1 was way more vertical than S2 and S3 were. But
with surging in S1 would have gone crazy.
Oh my gosh! Imagine going up the monster wall of Moray Towers at this up Moray Towers, and not S2 Moray, S1 Moray, which was taller, like significantly taller.
Oh yeah,
and, like all of everything.
Moray was just an scope D leader map.
Well, yeah, because Moray was so. All of the maps in S1 are just incredibly more vertical than S2 and S3.
100%.
Especially S3. S3 is super flat comparatively. Vapor just mentioned S1 Flounder. I was just about to pivot to that. S1 Flounder is a whole story less, and I think each story is smaller. And so it's one story less, and each story smaller. So like Flounder, imagine zooming up there, and there's more options in S1 Flounder than S3 Flounder in terms of where you can go up the walls and things. Oh my god, squid surging in S1 especially would have been insane, but S2
would have been fun.
Would have probably been the best version of it, just purely because like there's still verticality unlike S3 comparatively. But like you're not zooming up a wall that is a mile high.
That's true.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really like the movement options in S3 because I feel like there are some times when you just die in S2 that's like pretty like it's like damn I couldn't really do anything, but now in like S3 you could like dodge bombs, you could do. I know that there's that one clip of like I forgot which player was just constantly squid rolling from the inkjet. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you can parry bombs. What would be a one-shot kill, you can prevent that to be a one-shot kill, which can be a little annoying at times, especially if you're like if you have the skill to put down good bombs, or especially on land mode where the parries are a little bit more predictable because there's not a million things of latency. You can, if a really good player on land can parry one-shot weapons, I believe, at least certain one-shot weapons, some pierce through. I think Elite pierces through, but the ones that like barely do enough to one-shot you can parry some of them. And so that can be annoying, but I don't think anybody's to that level because there's just not enough land play and to consistently be able to do that. But being able to do that through bombs and such is still really cool. It's a good kind of like, if you're skilled enough, you can increase your survivability in an incredible way. Along with just movement. And we also didn't even talk about squid rolling off of walls, which, before when you're on walls, your option was to drop just straight down, go all the way to the top, or, that's your options. Now you can kind of squid roll anytime, get a hop on somebody. They think they have a jump on you. From the side, you squid roll off and you shoot them. And on top of the fact you get that squid armor for a moment at the top of your jump, and it just makes it cool. It's almost like you can't make montages in Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 1 like you can in Splatoon 3 with the cool movement options. Yeah, they're just fun. Both from a casually and competitively standpoint, I really, really enjoy the movement options and think they should exist, continue to exist, and I hope they do. And it's just really, really cool.
Yeah.
All you can do in Splatoon 2 was the bomb cancellation.
I mean, it was just so much harder to do any of that. You just guaranteed dead. I mean, there's still those times that happen in Splatoon 3, but it feels less. Everything just feels smoother too. Yeah. Splatoon 3, they built really well on this engine. Or is it a different engine? No, this is a new engine in Splatoon 3, excuse me. But they took a lot of what they learned and built a new engine for Splatoon 3 with some of that issues in mind. And it's very obvious now that like Splatoon 3 has been out for so long that they've kind of gotten rid of a lot of the bugs and the problems that existed. You can feel that their goals are now being more met than, especially when S3 was released. Oh my gosh, you don't. I had plenty of issues with S3, but the movement was one that I think they did really well, and I think that was one of the biggest upgrades they have in this game.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. There are no other topics. No one wants to throw out about the S2, S3. We can move on to another one, or another just completely brand new topic.
We can go a brand new topic, or something I think we could
let's talk about fruits. Let's talk about fruits.
Fruits.
Let's talk about our favorite fruit. Let's make a fruit tier list.
We're gonna become a little.
We're not gonna make a fruit tier.
Why not?
Make a fruit tier list. Do you want to make a fruit tier list? You want me to? If you can find me a fruit tier list and give me a link, okay. Mewtwo, okay. We can make a fruit tier list together.
Okay.
As long as it's not like the tier list of fruits you made previously, if you know what I'm talking about, that is not appropriate on stream.
Check your DMs.
The
check your DMs.
Tier list. Are you talking about the vegetable tier
Ultimate
list?
Yeah, we had a vegetable and a fruit tier list.
Wait, you had
Before.
a fruit tier list for that?
Oh yeah, no. Let me see if I can find it and send it to you.
Hey, we have a. There you go. There's our fruit tier list, folks. Okay. Well, let's punt this for a second, Moo, if you don't mind. I have a little bit more on S2, S3, but we'll come back to this. We're teasing it. You know, like a good podcast. We're teasing it. Look, it exists. Ooh.
There's the fruit one. Oh yeah, Brian. Here, I'll send you the vegetable one.
But I think some of the quality of life stuff was something I was going to talk about here and give kind of props to S3 on. And also bang them on some other quality of life things. Of course, some of this I will admit I have forgotten or have changed. But especially early on, the quality of life in S3 was awful. But I will say a lot of it has improved. You know, I have some questionable thoughts on some certain menu options or the way they're handled. But like pool codes are banger in S3. I think that was maybe, in terms of quality of life, one of the best additions in this entire game.
Oh yeah, pool codes are great because like you don't need to, you know, send a friend request to somebody and then wait like 5 fucking minutes because apparently they don't know how to accept the friend like request, and you would need to just, yeah, it definitely streamlines the process, especially for tournaments, because they just use a pool code and now everyone has access to it. You just need to find someone's name and join. So I do agree with you for like it's a really good quality of life change.
And I do like that there's easy to do kind of warm up areas in S3. You know, you have that whole menu that you can kind of do that, which is just something that doesn't exist in S2. And
yeah, the waiting time was a little boring.
It's a little, but I will say I really like the simplicity in a lot of ways of S2. You just got to the point. But I do wish that you could have warmed up in S2.
All right, let's talk some fruit.
Mew is so eager to move on already. He's done with this topic.
Bro is done. He wants to make a fruit tier list. He's so excited.
Maybe this was his plan all along.
Is the
The fruit tier list, not the S2 versus S3. Oh,
I feel like, you know, we all kind of articulated our points very well, and like we're all making like rational points. There's not like some bullshit going on.
I mean, I see the perspectives.
Yeah, even if you don't agree with it, as long as you see the perspective is reasonable enough, and I think for everybody is made, even if you don't agree with
yeah. Let's talk about our political views now. See how rational everyone is here.
Political views.
I'm just kidding. Let's talk about fruit.
Let's destroy the TZS podcast now. It is time to talk about politics.
The liberal media doesn't want you to hear this.
Okay, you know what? Let's make the fruit tier list, folks. Let's make the fruit tier
You forced him to go to the fruit tier list. This was
let's do it.
You forced my hand.
There's more on this type of quality of life, but you know what? Mew obviously wants to do this fruit tier list here on stream. Do we need? Hold on. Let's make an absolute garbage tier. I remember how to do this.
Man, I can't see this thing.
Yes, it's in chat. It's in chat, or if you look, I'm streaming this to you, aren't I?
Let me. I'll drop the link in the.
Wait, can we share? Can we share the same tier list?
No.
Oh no.
So we're gonna have to talk it through. But I'm streaming to you on Discord, so you should be able to see it. Yes?
Yeah, no, but my eyes are bad, so it's like small.
Alright. I dropped the link in the group chat for you, Brian.
Okay.
We'll talk about each fruit that we're talking about, you know? We can talk about this together. Let's
Are we gonna keep the tiers like this? D to S?
I think we should add a trash tier list. Trash.
After D?
Yeah.
Well, let's not say trash. Let's say.
Do we want to make it?
Let's say composter.
Yeah, gray.
Why don't you call it composter, not trash? Because we're being eco-friendly.
Trash. Nice. Anywho,
Trash.
we trash. We gotta have the utter trash in this.
Start with green apples, I guess.
We're gonna start. We want to start from the top, or do you want to bounce around?
We can bounce around.
Yeah, we can bounce around.
Everybody, we'll pick a fruit in order. Then the three of us.
Okay.
You
Kraken,
go
you
with
wanna go
green
first?
apples first, Brian. What do you?
All right.
Or if you want to pick something else.
I'll pick grapefruit.
I think that legally has to be S, doesn't it?
Nah, I say grapefruit is a solid B.
I'd say B.
I'd say
because,
B,
hear me
but
out,
let's just
hear
say
me out, hear me out.
some viral videos should prove it should be S tier. Just saying.
No, but hear me out on this. Alright. Grapefruit is amazing, you know. Grapefruit flavored things always taste really good. I enjoy the scent, I enjoy the taste. It's just when you eat it as a fruit alone, it's not S tier or A tier.
But what about when you grapefruit your man?
Well,
Oh.
well, we don't talk. Well, are we doing? Is this how we're gonna tier? Is this how we're gonna make the tier list?
How do we want to do it? We're just making this up as we go.
Is this how we're gonna make the tier list?
What do you mean? How are we gonna make tiers? Are you trying to make your own, or what do we? I think we just need to come to a consensus on a letter and go with it. I'm okay with B tier in all seriousness. I'm just shit posting because.
Okay.
I had to make a shit post. If there's a viral video mentioning grapefruit, I had to be the. I pulled a Mewtwo this time. Okay.
Wait, what's a white currant?
I don't
have
know.
No clue. That's going to the never had that tier list. Let's just get that in there.
Yeah, put the white and the red currant in there.
Wait, where's the red
one?
currant?
I didn't even read it.
It's next to raspberry.
Oh, I see that.
Hold on, I'm actually curious. Let me look this up.
Never even heard of it. If I'm being
never
honest
either.
It's native to West Europe. What the fuck?
So like Portugal.
That's a little surprising that we don't know it then, because I was expecting to be like something that was not like European or something. I've never heard of it.
It's in the gooseberry family.
Not the gooseberries.
Oh, okay.
Whatever a gooseberry
is. Kumquat? I don't know a lot of.
I've heard of kumquat.
Oh,
I think
kumquat. I like it because it's a funny name.
I never had version in there too.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it later. All right, pick a fruit, Kraken.
I'm gonna let. Yeah. Okay. We'll pick a fruit. Oh man, it's so tempting. I'm gonna go with the pineapple. I think pineapple should be A tier.
A tier.
A tier for me. Yeah, I agree.
It's an S tier for me.
AS, like I like pineapple.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I put S. Yeah, S.
I would say
low S
or high A. I'm okay with that. We can always adjust these later. So if as we get high S tiers, we can.
Yeah, we'll keep it high A.
Okay.
Vapor, stop playing along and do your fucking homework.
Is Vapor still just in the chat not doing homework?
You can see it. It's here.
Oh,
it's on the screen.
God.
On your screen. What else? All right, then Moo. This is your choice. What do you want to talk about?
I'm sorry. It is. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, I got. Oh my. Why is there a black currant?
Wait, there's a black currant.
Yeah, I also put that in. We haven't had that.
Oh, no.
Are they supposed to be like a popular fruit in Europe then? I guess.
Apparently, a lot of different versions.
Fuck it. Let's do red grapes.
Red grapes.
Where
I
say B tier for red grapes. If I'm
B or A for me.
You said red?
Yeah, red. The red ones. Yeah, specifically the red ones.
I'd say B tier.
I would rather have the. I think they're more A tier. I think they're better than white grapes, for example. I think.
What?
I go red. I go.
You like the red grapes more than white grapes?
Yeah.
Damn.
So you guys are B. Okay, what do you think? Above grapefruit or below grapefruit, though? I would say above grapefruit.
Above for me, yeah.
Okay, we can put it above grapefruit. They're like the same for me, anyways.
All right, it's back to you, Brian. Wait, no, you picked. No, yeah, it's your turn, Brian. What you got?
Let's go. Let's go for like a difficult one. Let's go with passion fruit.
I don't think I've ever had like passion fruit as like a fruit. I've definitely had it like a drink flavor.
You guys never had it as like a fruit?
No, I haven't had it as a fruit. If I did, it was a while ago.
You kind of eat the seeds more than like the fruit.
Oh.
It's very sour, but it has a lot of scent. It has a very pleasant scent, a hint of sweetness, and it's mostly sour. You kind of eat it for the texture and the scent, I feel like. But it's good. I like it.
Where would you put it?
Because I would put it in high B.
Above grapes or below grapes?
I'd put it between grapes and grapefruit.
We'll leave it there. There you go.
Damn, I'm surprised none of you have had passion fruit. I guess it is like a very tropical
stuff.
fruit.
Yeah. I've had flavored stuff, but I've never had passion fruit itself.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It's like a very tropical fruit.
I think I have to legally go with blackberries next. I'm a huge blackberry enjoyer.
I like blackberries.
I love blackberries.
I would put it in S tier.
Yes.
I think it is an S tier. Like I genuinely think blackberries.
Yeah.
We all agree on that one.
Yeah.
That's the first one we've all agreed on where it goes in terms of letter thus
Blackberries are so good.
I was lucky enough. Our neighbor had a bush, and I got to get fresh blackberries. I would just grab them off the vine. It was great.
On the house I grew up on, I mean, we moved, but we had a boysenberry bush. And they're pretty similar to blackberries, just a little bit more sour, I think. But that was good too.
Yeah, I am a. What if I do this? Oh, that's better. Hold on, sorry. Adjusting things on the. That's a little bit bigger. There you go. But yeah. Oh man, blackberries
Why is Vapor
are really
still talking in chat? Why is Vapor not doing
homework?
I
don't. We love you, Vapor. We just want you to join us. That's why we're
if you're gonna type in chat, just join the call.
Yeah, and then join us later because we have something special planned for the podcast.
Is he a finalist, Mew? Is he a finalist?
Oh hell no, he's a minor.
Oh no, he's here.
Oh jeez.
I'm not turning on my camera.
Oh, you're making
fine. I don't have a web camera. I don't have
the camera isn't working.
Well, if I get on my laptop, it'll work. But then,
here.
I feel like my audio quality would just be so much worse.
Don't worry, Vapor. I can get this worked out. Don't worry.
We're chilling.
But while I edit this really quickly, Vapor, you get to now pick a thing while I edit this. What you got, Vapor?
Let's do watermelon.
Oh, of course.
Bro went right for the most basic one, didn't he?
Yeah, I was expecting it something. A tier, to be honest.
Solid A, yeah, just a solid A for me. Too.
Really, I wouldn't say that that's A tier.
Well,
I would say it's a little.
What do you mean?
It's too
basic.
It's too basic.
I still
think
say
a
it's
low
above
B.
grapes and passion fruit and grapefruit though. That's my reasoning. I still think it's better than grape, passion fruit, grapefruit. So I say it today.
I'm willing to give you that, but definitely not pineapple black. It should be, I think, a high B tier.
I would say high B above red grape.
So I feel like we're gonna have a lot more A tier fruits. So I'm fine with putting it at the end of A. That's my reasoning right now.
We can always make small adjustments. I'm fine with giving it to A. I think it's lower than that, but sure. Obviously we're coming to a consensus. You know, That's what it's about.
This isn't my next fruit pick, but has anyone had mangosteen before?
I have not.
Okay.
I heard it's good though. I heard it's good. Like I've only heard good things about it.
Okay, just
nobody's
making
had
sure.
it, so that's got to go in the never had category then.
All right, so for my pick, I'm gonna choose persimmon. Put that shit in S tier. That persimmon is so good. My family in California has a persimmon tree, and like we always take some back to Vegas and we eat them, and it's really good. It's not overly sweet, and like it's a bit hard, but I like the crunchiness to it. And it's just a really good fruit.
I've never had it.
Go wrong with persimmon.
I've never had it.
You guys
But
never
I've
had
heard-
persimmons?
I've heard it's good. It's on my I want to get, but I'm not like going out of my way to get it.
The only beef I have with persimmons is that they are like literally uneatable if they're not ripe.
Uneatable. Uneatable.
Yeah.
Uneatable. Literally uneatable. Yes,
Jesus.
uneatable.
But yeah, Brian, what's your next pick?
What? Oh, let's go with coconut.
That would have been my next choice too. What are you saying?
I'm sorry, guys, but I have to put that in D tier.
Yeah, D tier. Like I don't have great experiences with coconut.
I'll go. I'm okay with that. The fruit D tier, the like dried coconut, I'm like is really good though.
You like dried coconut?
I like it. One of my favorite candies is.
Don't say it's almond joy.
Is not almond joy.
Okay.
It is you take a caramel marshmallow covered in dark chocolate, covered in white chocolate, and then you cover it in dried coconut. Mwah! One of my favorite candies of all. It's so good. They're called snowballs. They're just amazing. There's like
each
a hand,
their own.
just like a whole thing's as big your fucking hand. Just.
I just don't like those like coconut flakes in general.
I like them, but it's definitely a fair thing to say you either love coconut or you hate coconut. There's no in between.
I mean, I don't think it's like trash, but I think it's a D.
Yeah, I say D tier.
Messed up my whole hair doing for that.
It's on vapor. It's on vapor. What do you say, vapor? Coconut.
I've never had it.
Do you know what a coconut is?
Wait, you know what? Have you ever seen a coconut?
You've had
Yes.
snowballs, haven't you? I thought we shared a snow. I thought I'd give you a snowball.
I don't.
Sometime.
I think I turned it down.
Oh, this is crazy. Can't even have dried coconut.
Vapors,
I've had
probably
regular
only
coconut
had like.
too.
I haven't. I
Only
haven't had many.
20% of this. 20% on this list.
That's probably accurate. Somewhere between 20-30%.
Vapor, please. You gotta eat more fruits, buddy.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go with
Anyway.
my pick. Raisins, trash. I would throw it in trash.
Oh yeah, no F.
Thank you.
Trash. Trash.
Yeah, if we're making a fruits tier list, I don't even know why it's on here.
Yeah,
If I'm
no.
being real.
Yeah.
Let's
no,
go.
I don't.
We another
Yeah.
one we hard agree on.
Oh, thank God.
At least, that might have destroyed our friendships. I think if anybody was like, "Yeah,
This is
raisins
a
are S
fruits
tier."
tier list. This is a fruits tier list. What is raisins doing on here?
we actually.
Like it doesn't make sense.
In general, as well, raisins are just.
It is officially a fruit, to be fair. You know,
Yeah.
it is
Isn't it just
grapes.
dried grapes?
It's
Am I-
grapes.
Yeah.
It's
We
Oh
already
my
have
God.
grapes on here.
yeah. I would prefer if they would have kept it if just regular grapes, but I think they're
Yeah.
kind of going for an angle because it tastes so differently and is very different. But it's not in a good way. It's different in a bad way, like trash. You know. But I'm very
Alright.
glad we all agree on that.
Yeah, I don't like raisins on its own, but rum raisin, I'm actually fine.
Vapor, what's your next
Alright.
pick?
Let's go with cherries.
Man, it's all the basics ones because he's only had the basic fruit.
I think a C tier. C tier is fair for cherries. They're not bad.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
cherries C for me.
C.
I
Yeah.
would go mid B.
It's because you only have like 10 fruits on here, Vapor. Everything's gonna be ABC for you.
In my offense, I also had a cherry tree growing up, so.
Oh, okay.
Fresh cherries, okay, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, to be fair,
Oh, yeah,
fresh
cherries is
anything
definitely
does
fire.
make it better. Like blackberries, fresh blackberries, way above store-bought fresh berries. Same thing probably with Mewtwo with his persimmon.
Persimmon, yeah.
I said cinnamon like persimmon like persimmon. But like still the fresh version is going to be better than a store-bought. Even if the store-bought's a good quality store-bought. So that's fair. That is fair to consider to influence your decisions.
Whose turn is it? Moo?
Yeah, rotate back to
Oh
Moo.
yeah. Okay.
We're going left through the bottom. We're going reverse order from the bottom. So it's like Moo, Brian, me, Vapor. Moo, Brian, me, Vapor. It's the opposite of the bottom. So Moo next, yeah.
Let's do mango.
That's a good choice. I would say A tier.
I
Solid
gotta-
A tier.
I gotta say high A.
I think above watermelon.
Above watermelon, yes.
Yes.
I would say not above pineapple though.
Nah, pineapple.
Not above time. Yeah.
Pineapple's
think-
better.
Vapor, what are your thoughts on mango?
It's been so long since I've actually had one.
I knew
Oh
it.
Jesus Christ!
This man needs to eat more fruit. This guy doesn't have enough fibers in his diet, man.
Oh, good God!
Buddy, I know there's fruit options at PSU. Though they do mostly stick to the basics for a lot of it, though. Your grapes,
Vapor,
bananas.
You need more fibers in your diet, man.
Anywho, what Brian, it's your choice. What?
Date?
Dates?
I've never had a date.
I've
before.
Really?
never have no interest in dates.
What? Really?
I don't care for their flavor, flavored stuff even.
Oh, you've had dates before, though.
I've never had date stuff. I had date flavored stuff, and I have no interest in
Oh.
touching dates.
Dates they're a lot different from your typical fruit in that I feel like they are sweet, but it's like a different sweetness,
Yeah.
It's like it's not like a nectar sort of sweet. You know what I mean? It's like it's not I don't know how to explain it. It's not juicy. But they're good. They're good. I enjoy dates. If you ever, I know me and David really like the date shake. From where was that place? Oh,
The child is gone. That's fine. Just keep going.
wait,
Keep
what?
rolling.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. But if neither of you have had it before, I do like it more than grapefruit and passion fruit. But not as much as red grapes.
That's fair. Well, so you would put it above red grapes or above passion fruit?
Yeah, I would put it in B tier. I
Okay.
enjoy it more than cherries. For sure. I do like it a little bit more than passion fruit and grapefruit. But it's not my favorite thing in the world,
All right, let's try to speed run this because we want to do some fun
Okay,
stuff,
okay.
and let's knock out as much as we can while Vapor gets his
Alright.
stuff together with PC. So
Let's let's put the stuff that we've never had into a tier list like
start
right
that.
now.
yeah, let's put that in.
I've
there.
never had fresh mulberries. I've never had fresh mulberries.
I've never-
What is a mulberry?
I've
I've
not
only had like
one either.
semi-dry ones. I've only had semi-dry ones, but they're good though. They were good.
I have not.
I never had a
Has anybody
jackfruit.
had dragon fruit?
I have dragon fruit many
Okay,
times.
so we'll
in
talk
my
about that. Leech.
Have you guys ever had jackfruit? Because I've never had a jackfruit.
I've not. had
I've never
jackfruit.
I had never had jackfruit.
Has anybody had kumquat? I think we talked about that. No one had
No,
kumquat.
I've
No.
never had kumquat.
No.
Can we put it in S tier just because it's a funny name?
It will be
Sure.
our front.
Why not?
Sure. I've not
Okay,
had an
thank you.
Asian pear specifically.
What? Asian pears are so good.
I've never had an Asian pear.
What?
Okay.
Well,
Has
what?
anyone had a custard apple?
Nope.
Hold on, let me look this shit up because like, what do you mean by apple?
Has
Gooseberry?
anybody had a gooseberry?
No,
I've never had a fresh gooseberry.
I've never had a gooseberry.
I've only had dried gooseberries.
I've not had durian,
Surprisingly-
but I'd guess one
Yeah.
of you have. Yeah.
No, surprisingly, I've never had a durian.
Moo?
They
I've never had a durian before.
They supposedly smell like shit, like really bad.
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard too. Or they taste good. Like it's like one of those things you want to eat
Yeah,
and get it out of your house.
I heard
Uh,
they taste like custard though. Like they don't taste like a fruit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
but maybe we'll try it one day. STZS.
You know,
Anyone
apparently
ever had
all
a
of these
fig
we're just gonna have to go
before?
buy
Oh.
and eat together.
good Riptide 2026 plans.
We're just
Yep.
eating fruit. At least it's better than
Uh-huh.
candy. You know what? At least we're being healthy.
Yeah,
You know what?
we'll
Honestly,
we'll eat all the
honorable.
currants. We'll eat all the currants. You know the
All
white
the
currants left.
hands together. Yeah. Fig. Has anyone ever had fig before?
I've never had a fresh fig. I've only had them like semi-dry.
Yeah, I've not had a fresh
Okay.
fig either.
That's about it
Lychee,
on
I don't
my
know how it's
end. I've had
pronounced.
everything else.
You've had that?
Actually, I don't know what a ground cherry is.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what that is.
I don't.
All right, put that in. I've never had this.
Okay, well, let's a pomelo.
Pomelo? I've never had a pomelo either.
I've not a
What the hell is
pomelo.
a pomelo?
I've heard of them, but I've never had one.
Can we
You know,
put
I've never had a rambutan.
Rambutan?
Rambutan? Yeah,
know.
I've never had that. I actually
I've heard-
never had that either.
Have you had the lychee? I don't know. How
Oh
it's
yeah,
pronounced.
lychee. Yeah, lychee's good.
Only
Really good.
flavored lychee stuff.
You don't really
not
spell
the
it. You
actual
don't
fruit.
spell it like that though. You don't spell it like that.
Why
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
what
I was like,
it
what the
is.
fuck?
That's why I think it's throwing me off because I'm like, I don't even know what the,
Lychee?
I don't know what
Lychee.
my brain isn't even doing that. And guava. If someone had guava, I have not had guava.
Yeah, I've had guava before.
I've
Guava-
never had I've only had guava flavored things.
Oh really? Fresh guava's pretty good.
Yeah,
Not
I've only
bad.
had guava
No.
flavored.
It's not
Yeah,
bad.
like the thing from Plants vs Zombies, right? The guava.
There
I-
probably is a guava. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played that game in so long.
It's okay.
All right, let's knock these out real quick.
The lava guava.
Let's
Plants
just
vs.
go
Zombies 2.
from here down. You know what I mean? Just go down.
You start green
Green apple. I think they're like a D tier. D tier or a C tier?
D. I put them in C tier.
C tier. I like the red ones better.
See,
Oh, jeez.
I would agree. The red ones are better. I would go for red.
Red ones are high B tier for me.
High
or
B.
low A. High B or low A for me.
I'm
I'd put it behind
I'm
grapes.
comfortable putting that above watermelon even.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Mm.
Low A it is above watermelon. Apricots.
I
don't think
love
I've
me
ever
some
had an
apricot.
apricot
I would put that in
before.
S tier.
Apricots are so good.
Also, side
agree
note,
with that
really
tier.
good in dark chocolate. If you can get a good apricot in dark chocolate, covered dark chocolate, mwah, delicious.
Avocado. I don't see it as a fruit, so I'm gonna put it in trash.
Yeah, I don't know why it's here.
I'm okay
It's
with
good.
it.
I enjoy avocado a lot, but it's not. I don't consider it like. I mean, you know, scientifically it is a fruit, but it's like tomato is a fruit as well. You know?
I think of it more as a vegetable. Yeah.
It is
Or,
just
well,
the way
I-
that a
I
lot of it
think of
is
it-
applied and such.
I don't. Yeah, I never really thought of an avocado as a fruit. More that.
Yeah.
No,
You know, tomato is a fruit as well, but you know, I don't consider it as like a fruit. You know,
Yeah, that's.
Isn't
same
It's
thing with
not
a
something I would
cucumber.
actually
Same thing with a
put.
cucumber. It's a fruit, but I don't consider it.
Wait, that's a fruit. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit. 'cause
Cucumber
it has
is like a
seeds.
very close
Which it
relative
is
to
in here.
watermelon, by the way.
Dude, I remember in my first semester of nursing school, I just took out a cucumber out of my backpack and just started eating it.
It's a fruit. Technically, scientifically, it's the same as avocados, tomatoes, or it's considered a fruit.
Oh my god.
which
It is
tomato,
a very close
they're missing
relative of
some
a
in
water-
here. This tier list doesn't have like tomato. You just mentioned tomatoes is a good one. Doesn't have on here. That's
Yeah.
like a clear
Yeah,
fruit.
but they have 3 fucking currants in here.
I
Well, yeah, why are they so obsessed with these currants? What?
I have no idea, but I'm assuming it's similar to grapes where they have quite different flavors between the colors.
I guess. I guess.
And uses and things like that.
Bananas. I
C tier.
know this one splits. I personally
love
think
them,
it's an
but
S
I think they're just
tier.
meh. S
D
tier?
tier? I think it's an S tier.
Nah, I can't.
Personally.
I can't say they're better than grapes or apples.
I think they're better.
apricot.
I think they are just because smoothies can't exist without them for me.
Yeah, I think it's C or D. The only thing keeping it out of F is banana bread.
See, look at that. Banana bread, strawberry banana smoothies, and the fruit itself tastes amazing.
Yeah, I think
If you have, what I really want to try is I want to try a Big Mike banana. So those are the
that?
Those are bananas. So like banana
You
candy.
want to try Mike's banana?
Who's Mike? Who is Big Mike? And
Big Mike
why do you
is
want his-
a PSU player, but
oh my god!
Oh my god!
Does this mean you're going back to PSU? Does that mean he's joining the PSU CCA?
You want Big Mike's banana?
Chat. I don't feel safe here.
Oh my god!
What's that?
But he's like, banana's a fruit is D tier, but Big Mike's banana is S tier. This guy. Oh my god! What is he saying?
No, but so banana candy and how it's vastly different than bananas that we eat.
Yeah.
Banana candy is based off a different version of banana, which had a disease ripped through them, and so the bananas that your grandparents ate are different than the bananas you eat. They're a completely different variation of banana. And the old ones were called Big Mike's. These are called Cavendish that we eat. And
from Balatro.
They apparently taste significantly better than Big Mike bananas, but they're like $30 for like 3 of them. Like,
oh
it's insane price because there was a fungus that ripped through all of the banana fields, and actually they're starting to rip through the Cavendishes now. They've evolved, and so we might actually get worse bananas in the near future once the Cavendishes get ripped through.
I'm sorry, you sure do get passionate when talking about bananas.
I love me some bananas.
Especially you Big Mike's banana. How is it not S tier? How is it not S tier when you talk about it the most out of any fruit so far?
I've never had a Big Mike banana. So I think if we could to break it apart, and I could try a Big Mike banana.
He's explaining Big Mike's lore.
God.
He's explaining the backstory to Big Mike. His origin story.
Well, does he have the audacity to place it in C tier after all of this? This is nuts.
I'm so red.
How to make a 30-year-old man cry on camera.
Oh my god.
I still think they should be C tier, basing it off the Cavendish. Cavendish for C tier.
Bro.
You're the only one we haven't heard about bananas.
Oh my god. Big Mike's bananas, bro.
Someone's got to send this to Big Mike later.
Oh my god. Oh god
Vapor,
damn
where
it.
would you put bananas on the tier list?
Oh,
I would say right behind cherries.
oh man.
I'm cool with that. I think we are outvoting you here, Brian.
Makes sense.
What?
3 to
Why
1.
is it so low? I can't.
C-
I'm gonna
CD
tell Big
tier.
Mike.
I will give bananas their versatility and things, but
Oh man.
It's just standalone as a fruit.
yeah, no, it's pretty weak.
It's a good old reliable, but I don't say it would be like as quality as anything above it.
All right, blueberries. B tier, maybe. I'm not a huge fan of
I
them.
really like blueberries.
I would still say behind grapes, no matter what.
Personally, I put them above apricots, but I see that I'm in the minority here again.
Well, Mewtwo didn't give his opinion yet.
I don't know, Kraken. Is there?
Mike Blueberry Kraken?
Did you have any lore behind the blueberries?
I have no lore. I don't think I have lore behind anything else.
Oh,
Besides Big Mike.
Bro.
I'm never getting that one's never getting let down, is it? That is a permanent thing. Anytime bananas come up, so what about Big Mike's banana Kraken?
I think I personally think blueberries.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you're actually being serious.
I personally think blueberries are like B tier for me because like they are good. I could just take them out, wash them, just eat a few, and I feel good. But yeah, I mean that's just me.
Damn. Okay, you know what? We have to come to an agreement. So, yeah, at least put them in front of red grape.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We can always make small adjustments later. So we can always come back and say, hey, you know what? Let's make an argument for something being too low.
Let's go cantaloupe. This is one of those fruits for me where a good cantaloupe is so fucking good, but a bad cantaloupe is disgusting, like absolutely disgusting.
Oh yeah,
it's either A tier or D tier.
literally, a bad cantaloupe, like I think it's horrible, but a good cantaloupe, I just can't stop eating.
So what? Do we split the difference? Put it in like B tier?
Yeah, let's put it in B tier.
Like just
how do we power scale these fruit?
We'll put it above. We'll put him like in the middle of B tier.
Yeah, B tier.
Yeah, I threw it right above dates. I think that's why I think it's a good home for it. Behind grapes, but above dates. Cranberries.
I've never had fresh cranberries. Actually.
Yeah, me neither.
I've only had them as a sauce or dried.
So I think we got to put it in never had it then.
Yeah, if nobody else has either, then yeah.
Yeah.
Grapefruit.
All right.
Grapefruit
or dragon fruit.
Excuse me.
Dragon fruit.
Okay.
I've never had dragon fruit.
I'll give it to you. It's like a bottom C tier.
Okay.
It has no taste. It's not sweet. It's very watery. You kind of eat it for the texture and the smell. But unlike dates, where it actually has a strong, not dates. Unlike passion fruit, where it's actually strong and everything, it's like very light. It's just like watermelon without the sweetness. It's not good.
White grapes. This one I think we're gonna have a little bit of a fight on.
Yeah.
I would put it at like C or D tier.
I like them a lot more than red grapes, but
Ooh.
I don't know if it's just.
I would say bottom C.
Bottom C?
Mewtwo, what are you thinking here?
I've never had dragon fruit before.
No, white grapes.
Oh, white grapes? Oh, fuck yeah, put them at bottom C. I'm not a big fan.
I would put them up above green apples. Personally.
I would put them above cherries.
I'm willing to even give that. What do you Vapor and Moo? What do you think?
I'm willing to compromise.
I would say it's neck and neck with green apple. So I can see above it.
What do you have against green?
I would say at minimum it should be above green apple, if not.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I put them in the beginning of C tier. Come on, because if
yeah.
not, I would say A tier. That's my thing.
Yeah, we could put it above cherries.
Let's just put it above cherries. I'm fine with that.
Kiwis.
Ooh.
I would say they have to be at least B tier.
It depends. So, like a bad kiwi tastes bad for me.
Are we gonna assume these are like its fruit at like its peak?
No, I think overall, right?
Overall. Yeah. Be a little fair. That's kind of what we did with cantaloupes.
I feel like I've run I feel like I've run into more bad kiwis than good kiwis in my life.
I just can't get over the fact that I can't believe they're hairy.
Alright, put them after blueberries.
After blueberries and B tier? Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Lemons.
Because a good kiwi is...
Lemons
is S tier, man.
What the f... Yeah, lemons is S tier.
I'm not a huge fan of lemons, but I would agree they should go in S tier.
They are used in everything and anything.
They're banger.
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me just like raw dogging a lemon, but like you will see me like drowning drowning my chicken in it.
Where should we put that in?
S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
At the end of S tier is fine for me because as a fruit, I think the other fruits are better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about kumquat, but the other three. Probably.
I like how kumquat's an S tier because it's a funny name.
Mike's banana and kumquat. Big Mike's banana.
All right. What about the next one here?
What is it? Lime.
The lychee. Then we have lime. We can do lime first. Let's do lychee first.
Lime.
Lychee.
I like lychee a lot.
Yeah.
I think
this one's on you guys. I haven't had this.
I think it's above kiwi, below blueberries for me.
I agree.
Okay. Lime.
And then I feel like I like lime more than lemon as like a fruit, but like versatility wise, I definitely think lemon's better than lime.
Why don't we just put them side by side in S tier?
Yeah, we can just put them side by side.
Put lemon above it purely for its versatility. Flavor wise, lime wins.
It does.
Yeah. Now there's just two different colored ball sacks in S tier.
And as a Mountain Dew enjoyer, lemon lime is what it's based, basis. Obviously, it tastes kind of more unique than just a lemon lime soda, but And lime flavored candy, best kind of candy. Best like fruit flavored candy. One of the best fruit flavored. Let's go with that.
Nectarine.
This is one I haven't had.
Nectarine.
Nectarine is an A tier for me.
A tier. I like the taste of nectarine.
Below mango, but above apples. Is what I put.
Yeah, I think it's between mango and apple for me.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Vapor? Come on, give your opinion.
I would say below watermelon.
What?
I can't agree with that one. I would be willing to give you below apple at the best. Watermelon, I think we have overseeded right now, but so definitely, I don't know about that one. I think this is gonna have to be a 3-1 vote on this one, buddy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not far off. You're talking within a tier we're discussing. So at least we're not. Yeah. Oranges. I think high A or S tier.
I like oranges.
I fuck with oranges heavy.
I think if you go with the citrus
more, though.
I would have it with the citrus friends, but I'm okay with it being below pineapple.
I think pineapple would taste better. At least for me.
I personally prefer pineapple over oranges, but oranges are like close behind.
Cool.
Vapor?
I'd agree right behind pineapple.
Oh, okay. Vapor, I thought you were gonna say I've never had an orange before. that would have been warming.
Papaya.
Papayas are amazing.
I've never had one.
Never had one.
Oh.
It's been a while for me.
I kind of like papayas. I like them better than guava.
I would put them above blueberries in B tier.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Even though I think blueberries are S tier and bananas, but I can agree with that.
Peaches.
S tier.
S. I like peaches.
How high in S is the question?
I think I like them a lot. I'll put them above apricots.
I would put them below apricots.
What? You like apricots more than peaches?
Yeah, I do.
You just never had a really good ripe white peach.
I haven't.
What if it was Big Mike's white peach, bro? Think about it.
I think I want somebody else's peach. To be fair, wink, wink.
Big Mike's white peach.
I'll have Big Mike's banana and somebody else's peach. What a nice.
Right. You know what?
What do you Vapor? What are you guys' thoughts on peaches here?
I agree with Ryan.
Above apricot, Vapor?
I'd get outvoted.
Where would you put it?
He's gonna say D tier.
I would have said high C above white grapes.
This man, somebody needs to get him more fruit. He hasn't had enough good fruit in his life.
technically the average would put us down below apricots, but we'll put it above half.
Average would bring it down below lime.
Yeah, it would bring it pretty low. But we'll leave. I'm okay with leaving it there. Even if I don't agree with you on the apricots, it's understandable enough.
All right, pear.
I'm not a pear enjoyer.
I'd say B tier.
I put them below blueberries.
I'm okay with that, actually. Vape?
I have mixed opinions with pears.
Don't tell me the last time you had a pear was like 10 years ago, Vapor.
Oh no! It's still been like a year or two, but it has.
You had a pear, Vapor?
When was the last time you had a fruit in
Honestly,
general?
it's been a while since I've had a pear myself. Because I don't go for pears. I don't go for pears. I've had it. It's probably been closer to 10 years since I've had a pear.
What?
It's been since I was a child.
Vapor.
So I'll take the hit, Vapor.
When was the last time you ate a fruit, Vapor? Like, out of your own will, you picked up a fruit and ate it.
And what was it?
And what was it?
3 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say months, bro.
3 years ago is the last time I had a fruit.
3 decades ago.
3 weeks is kind of long, too, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
What about...
what did you have? What fruit was it?
Watermelon. And pineapple.
Okay.
You know what? Let's keep going. All right. Plum.
Plum. Ah, shit.
The C tier for me.
I would agree with that.
I haven't had a plum in a while, so I can't really give my opinion.
I would say above green apple. C tier.
Yeah. Below bananas. Yep. Exactly where I was thinking.
I'd agree.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranates are banger. They should be S tier.
I never had one.
It's been a long time since I had a fresh pomegranate, but it was really good. I do remember I enjoyed it.
I would put it oh man, right around blackberries. Genuinely,
high?
I love me some pomegranate, and what actually made it even better? We did obviously because I'm fat. Obviously, we keep going back to candy versions. Fresh pomegranate. Dark chocolate. Maybe one of the best candies I've ever had in my life.
You know what? Okay. Since you feel so strongly about it, this is the second strongest opinion you've had since Big Mike's Banana, so...
I'll give opinion on that. That was facts. Just drop facts about it.
Second most emotion you showed this podcast after Big Mike's Banana, so...
Because it's just me, though, really on pomegranate, I don't think it's fair to put it above blackberries, where we're unanimous on the blackberries. So I'm okay with putting it like second.
Alright, raspberries. I'm gonna have to say this is S tier. Raspberry is my second favorite fruit.
I would have went with A tier, but personally...
Raspberries are pretty cool. A or S is fine with me.
I would go A behind pineapple personally.
What? Raspberries are so fucking good.
I would have behind oranges, good. So I'm okay with behind pineapple.
Behind pineapple's fine.
Come on, behind lime.
I'm willing to give you that bump. I'm willing to give the bump.
Let's go.
It's a pretty versatile option. Move Vapor. Any hard disagreement with that? You think they're fine with that?
Raspberries are pretty good. Yeah.
Starfruit, I put below watermelon and A tier because they're fucking bomb when they're good.
I've never had it, so I guess
it's been a long time. I wouldn't be safe enough to give a vent. So we'll have to give you win by default there, Brian.
They're pretty good. When they're not ripe though, they're kind of tasteless. But
alright, strawberries are banger.
They're either really good or really bad.
I think they're the king of all fruits above blackberry.
Even if you say even if there's a bad strawberry, I would still say it would be bottom S tier.
I think strawberries are the king of all fruits. It's my favorite fruit by like a mile.
Yeah, I love strawberries. Like as a kid, I always grew up
strawberry flavored stuff. Strawberry as a fruit. Strawberry jam. everything.
I'm the oddball on this. The only strawberries I eat are fresh. I won't eat any store-bought strawberries. I don't enjoy them.
Oh wow, I like the strawberry
I would put them at a
flavor.
B tier or C tier. Genuinely.
What?
Yeah.
You're so goddamn
Whoa.
All right.
I
Yeah,
will
clearly-
admit I'm the oddball in this one.
You have
Man.
never experienced the joys of a strawberry flavored tampon before,
Yep.
and it's showing.
I have not, that's for sure.
You have never experienced the joys of eating a strawberry that costs like $20 each.
I've had a strawberry fresh out of a garden. We used to grow them, but I would only eat a few, and I didn't really like get a bunch of them. It's not my fruit choice by far.
When
you
I
guys
was younger,
wanna-
I ate like 2 containers of strawberries in like a day one
Tangerine.
time.
So I think you guys want
Right.
the top fruit behind kumquat because
is.
it has
It is
to
the
be.
king. It is the king of the fruits in this list.
I can't agree with that, but I get outvoted, so I'll take the L on that one.
All right, tangerine.
A tier?
Injuries are pretty good.
They're pretty good. I say they go toe to toe with oranges.
I would agree with that. I would say
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just behind oranges, but above mango.
Yeah.
I like that.
Honeydew. I would say low B.
I don't think I've ever had it before.
What?
It's been a long time since I've had honeydew. I would say they were below cantaloupes.
Cantaloupe. Yeah, just put it next to cantaloupe.
They kind of go together, anyways.
Asian pear.
Yeah.
Pear. I think Asian pear is a high A tier, above orange, between pineapple and orange.
Anybody else got a
Yeah,
say on Asian pear?
I think it's just you, Brian.
Yeah, I think this one's just-
Oh,
This
Asian
one's
pears are
just
so
you.
fucking good. Asian pears are so good.
All right, guava.
I haven't had a fresh guava in a while, but from what I remember, they weren't like exceptionally good. I'll just put them like above dates or something.
I'm okay with that.
I've never had a guava.
It's been years for me as well.
Blood orange? I've never had a fresh blood orange before in my life. I've only
don't
had
think I
blood
have
orange
either.
flavored drinks.
Anybody have blood orange? Or is that going in the never had this tier list?
To be real, I don't think I've ever had a fresh
I
haven't
blood
either.
orange.
Oh,
What did Vapor say?
sour cherry.
Oh, he's moved on. He's on sour cherries.
I've never had a sour one before.
I would say above white grapes. Whether
You've
that's
had
not-
sour cherries before, Vapor?
yeah.
Okay.
No, Vapor, this isn't like a sour cherry. I think they're a thing called sour cherries.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
From what I remember of them, they aren't too bad.
Okay.
I would say just a little bit better than a regular cherry, but
So we'll put it above cherry. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
is there any changes we want to make to this, or are we going to lock this in? Anything that anyone wants to fight over before we continue here?
Can we make a
I'm
tier
pretty content.
like can we make a tier above S specifically just for kumquat?
Kumquat tier.
Thank you.
What color do you want it to be?
Which
White.
all of the white. I get it now.
Alright. We got a tier.
Hold
list.
on, guys. I got to put the banana up there.
Oh yeah. Big Mike. Yeah, but Big Mike.
banana.
Man, where did-
All right, folks.
I thought you were genuinely just making a joke or something.
No, it wasn't. It was genuine. It was genuine.
I really want to
facts I
try
was
Big
spitting.
Mike's banana.
Oh my god.
The way
Oh
you
my
said
God.
that, and then me and Moo were like, wait a minute.
Oh. No, go back. Go back. I might have lost our tier list. Please don't. Okay, cool. It's another tab. We're good. It was another tab. I thought it wouldn't destroy it. Because I think you can do a thing where you vote on it and everything. But yeah, no, I was genuine about the Big Mike bananas. That is an actual thing. The banana candy is based off of Big Mike bananas. Wow. The bananas we eat every day are Cavendish. So
let's move on to what we were planning to do after. Well, really, once Vapor is showed up.
Let's save this. Let me download the image, folks.
You want to post it to our Twitter?
Oh yeah, we're posting this in the Twitter post event. I will do that plus tease the next podcast episode.
Bro. Hey, next episode you gotta bring up Big Mike's banana too.
It should be a recurring thing.
I won't be on the mic for the next one. I promise.
Oh, you won't be on the mic?
No, I won't be on the mic. It'll be I will just be producer for that one.
Okay.
It's my turn to be off the mic. It's okay. You know. So is that all we want to do on the tier list? So let me go ahead and swap us back to normal view.
So I don't know if it'd be possible to do a next podcast, but like sometime, probably like after the next podcast, we do, because I know that one's a bit more serious. Can we do the vegetable tier list next?
We gotta do the vegetable tier list. We can schedule vegetable tier list. We can put that with a topic that like might be a little bit shorter to talk about.
We need a tier list episode solely to just us making tier lists.
Oh,
it doesn't need to be a podcast. It'll just be fun.
We just have to. Yeah, it could be it could be called the TZS Podcast, because I mean it's just us bullshitting like this, you know.
Because we did not specify that we are a Splatoon podcast. We're just a podcast ran by the members of TZS.
Correct.
Exactly.
So it does not have to be Splatoon related. We could go off.
We're not bottlenecked into anything.
Mm-mm. You know, normally we're gonna talk about Splatoon, but let's be honest with ourselves. But if we wanna start talking about a different game, we wanna talk about fruit tier lists or whatever. You know, it's nice to do, and it's we can talk about whatever we want. We probably should stay off some topics. We should pick like a topic, you know, and then like each of us like find something within that topic and we research it, and then we make a presentation.
I like
the presentation podcast.
Yeah, and then we present it to each other.
That'd be really fun.
That'll be fun.
It's like in school, you do a presentation.
Yeah, except it'll be a fun presentation, you know?
I think I legally have to do the bananas, I think now.
Yeah, like how the friend groups had PowerPoint night. Yeah, we could have a TZS PowerPoint night.
My God.
PowerPoint night.
And Kraken can talk about his love.
His love for bananas. Specifically Big Mike.
We have a pinned thread in our own server here where we can put ours, and people at home, we have a suggestions channel where you can suggest topics. So if you all have topic ideas that you guys want to hear us talk about, feel free to throw it in there. The one we did last week was one that was also requested, but luckily we were on the same page with the people at home too, because we wanted to do that one. But it was one that someone suggested at home that they wanted us to do. The pickup versus team culture one that we did last week.
All right. Well, I think I know what time it is now.
The big reveal.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do Pico Park.
Oh,
that was the big reveal. You just revealed it.
Oh shit!
So, folks, we have been dying to play Pico Park for a long time. So we're gonna take a short break here, and then we're gonna transition over to Pico Park. I, Brian, Mewtwo, and Vapor. So we're gonna have some fun with Pico Park.
Yo, I gotta eat dinner still though.
Well, you better go grab your food in this 5-minute break. Easy. Better be
dinner's
leftovers.
Not ready.
Oh no!
I gotta make dinner.
Oh no, bro! You gotta figure out something real fast. You better have some leftovers or something,
bro. Anyways, Mewtwo, who won the contest?
Oh, Brian.
Let's go.
Congrats, Brian! I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm happy to come second place to you, buddy. Anytime.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So what? You have a winning speech? This is your time for your winning speech?
I have to. Okay. I am very honored to be chosen finalist and be a winner of this entire contest. I do not know when Mewtwo had the chance to compare sizes of everybody in this team, but I just want to say that I'm glad that mine was at least above average within the 7-member team of TZS. And yeah. Thank you very much, Mewtwo,
I got you.
for hosting this tournament. And congratulations, Kraken, for coming in second place. I'm sure it boosts. I'm sure it kind of stroked your ego as a man. It did for me.
Especially when we've been talking about Big Mike's banana, you know?
Yeah. You know, mine may be, mine may not be as great as Big Mike's, but at least, within the team, I do have. All right, can we just move on to Pico Park?
So we're gonna wrap up
right.
here. We'll be on break for a moment, and then we'll be back with some Pico Park folks. But
Okay.
yeah, stay here. Be right here wherever you're watching. Appreciate y'all.